Most people at medical school spend every day of every hour studying. And if they're not studying, let's be honest, as a uni student, they're probably getting drunk. I was most people, and I wasn't happy. You are told that it's a fiercely competitive environment where it's dog eat dog. Everyone is out for themselves, and you're brainwashed into this vicious cycle of stress and a constant piling up of never-ending lectures. It's like you're just trying to keep your head above water. After 5 years of medical school, a ton of trial and error, and many sleepless nights, I've learned a thing or two, and it's helped me to achieve top 1% at medical school whilst balancing my hobbies, outside interests, and relationships. And I want to share my brutally honest thoughts with you. So here we go. Hard work doesn't equal success. And this sounds obviously counterintuitive and just a bit dumb really to say that, but it really doesn't. It's not about how hard you work, but about how smart you work. Some random guy called Warren Buffett said, "It's not about how hard you row, but what boat you're in." There's always an effective way and a less effective way of doing something, and that the same applies with studying. If you use the right techniques, then you free up more time for yourself. We always complain. I think the number one complaint that medical students have is, "Oh, I don't have enough time." Learning how to study effectively will have the greatest returns for you in the long run across 5 years. Imagine how much time and energy you're going to save. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't work hard or that hard work doesn't matter at all, but all I'm saying is that hard work isn't directly proportionate to your results and how well you do in your exams. What's more important is how you study. Learn how to learn and you'll thank yourself later. The number one biggest regret that medical students have that have graduated and finished is that they work too hard and they wish they spent more time just enjoying the journey and enjoying what uni has to offer and making memories. No one has ever finished med school and thought, "Oh, I wish I spent more hours studying." The second thing I wanted to talk about was all about friendship. I think everyone can relate when the people that you meet in first year, the people that you originally meet, often don't end up being your friends in the long run. That's okay. There's no point forcing a friendship. If the only time you hang out is when you're drunk, then I think you should probably reevaluate that friendship. Can you actually sit down with them and have a deep conversation with them? Can you actually open up to them? Can you sit there and enjoy each other's silence? I think that's quite a good litmus test for a real friendship. A real friendship is when you can sit down and do nothing with them and it's not awkward. You can talk about things that are on your mind without fear of them judging you or telling other people behind your back. It's so easy just to think that you have like 50 friends because you know 50 people because you met someone once on a night out. It's way more powerful to have a couple of really good friendships than delude yourself into thinking that these people are going to be my friends for life. The other main thing about friendships I wanted to talk about was real friends are kind, not nice. There's a big difference between being nice and being kind. Nice guys, nice people, they'll say what you want to hear. They won't tell you the honest truth. They're willing to say whatever pleases you. And they're also willing to go behind your back often. Those are the people you need to be cautious about. Kind people are the people that will tell you the honest truth. They're the people that will say it to your face and not behind your back. They'll protect you in public, but they will tell you when they think you're doing something wrong in private. Everyone has those periods of time where your ego is just a bit big and you need to be brought down a level. And your real friends are there for you to remind you of who you are. You'll notice that as you kind of climb up the ranks in certain areas of life, people will start to gravitate towards you more. But as soon as that kind of success dies down, the nice people, they'll disappear. It's the people that will be there when times are tough. That's when you know they're real friends. You can do less than you think. You're probably thinking that's pretty uninspiring advice. That doesn't seem to be in keeping with what I usually say. Let me rephrase this. You can do less than you think at a high standard. I.e., you can do a lot of things and you can do them very well, but not all at the same time. You can only do one or two things really well and make real progress at a time. If you try and do too many things, you try and spread yourself too thin, one, you're gonna burn out. Two, you're just gonna be a little bit good at multiple different things and you're really gonna have nothing to show for your hard work. You might be working really hard at several things, but you don't really have much to show for it at the end of the day. It's important to just focus on one thing at a time. Don't fall into the trap of shiny object syndrome where every new thing just looks shiny and new. I remember joining loads of societies, trying to prepare for the National Badminton Championships whilst trying to balance my relationship, whilst trying to build a business on the side, whilst trying to get top grades at medical school. It just didn't work and everything kind of just fell apart. Inevitably, the quality of each individual thing will suffer. Your relationships will suffer and you'll just get burnt out. There's different seasons of life for different things. The times where I've made the most progress, always been when I've been laser focused. Short bouts of intensity at one thing. For example, when I was preparing for the National Badminton Championships, I woke up, I remember training every morning at 6 a.m. for about 3 weeks. That was what was needed at the time and I made a lot of progress. Or the period of 3 months where I made a YouTube video every single week. That was when I made a load of progress. The period before my exams where I promised myself I would study X amount of hours a day and I got the best exam results. It's always when you're laser focused. Of course, you're not just gonna study and completely not talk to your friends. There is overlap, but there should be one thing that is most important that you're prioritizing in that period. 50-50 balance doesn't exist. As a medical student, you're always in disequilibrium. You're never fully balanced. There's always something that takes priority in that season of life. So if you approach with an attitude of one thing at a time, in the long run, and when I say long run, I don't mean 3 months, I mean years. And people just aren't prepared these days due to social media and due to attention spans to make the sacrifice. Over the years, you'll reap its rewards and you'll get what you deserve in the long run. The next brutally honest truth is about nightlife, because if you're a uni student and you're never going out or you're never doing anything in the evenings, be it going out for dinner, doesn't have to be drinking alcohol, but just doing something in the evening, maybe going for a games night, then you're in the vast minority. Nights always lead into mornings. However much you convince yourself that night out isn't going to affect your mood, your productivity, your energy levels, it will. Not just a waste of an evening sometimes, but you also got to take into account the day after and the day after that. It takes 48 to 72 hours to truly feel like back to 100%. If we're really being honest. Before uni, I honestly never had really drunk alcohol and I definitely hadn't gotten drunk before. At the beginning, honestly, it feels pretty incredible. At the end of the day, it's a drug, so it's meant to make you feel good and you do feel good. And I want to clarify that I have nothing against going out and drinking alcohol. Anyone who says that alcohol can't make a night out better hasn't ever had a good night out before. I do think that it's abused by a lot of people, and especially med students. I think especially because we're in quite a stressful course where often 5 lectures a day, it makes it that much more tempting to kind of let your hair down and just go a bit crazy. One thing that I learned from pharmacology at medical school is the concept of tolerance, where you need more of one thing to get the same effect. And it takes longer to recover. Hangovers become worse because you're drinking more in order to get the same effects of alcohol, and it just becomes a vicious negative spiral. I'm a self-proclaimed alcoholic for the first 2 years of uni. In the evening, and I would think about alcohol. All of the negative effects on your health, your fitness, your memories, whatever you've learned during the day at medical school in your lectures. At night, when you sleep, you're consolidating the memories in your brain. But alcohol significantly affects the quality of that sleep, and so you're not going to retain it as well. My point is, don't go out as much, basically, is what I'm trying to say. At the beginning, you'll probably get FOMO, but if you push past that FOMO, waking up the next day at 7, 8 a.m. feeling fresh and ready to make plans and see people do cool things, you rarely ever actually regret not going out. Whereas The amount of times I've regretted going out is ridiculous. It's actually a bit silly. The last thing is just get off your damn phone. Get off your damn phone. If you want balance, fitness, social life, studies, and side hustles, extracurriculars, other sports you play, then you need to get off your damn phone. If you actually want to make the most of uni, then you need to get off your damn phone. I'm sorry, but this one's probably the hardest to hear for most people, and for me, because I was very addicted to my phone. My attention span was fried. As a final year now, I will tell you 100%, medical school will fly by and it'll be over before you know it. Unless you're running a business on TikTok, then just delete it. Just get rid of TikTok. It destroys your attention span and your ability to just sit down and study or do work. It destroys your ability to appreciate the same things in life, such as just going out for a walk without music, without your phone, enjoying nature, enjoying the outdoors. We were evolved to enjoy the outdoors, being outside, climbing up mountains, competitive sports. We were evolved to enjoy competition. That's why so many of us, if we don't play a sport, then our highlight could be watching our favorite football team play a sport, because we have been evolved to enjoy competition. And so what scrolling your phone does all day, it ruins your ability to get that same amount of dopamine from natural sources. Because every time you get a ring, a bell, notification on your phone, a like on Instagram, your brain is getting flooded with dopamine and serotonin, and it makes it way harder for you to enjoy stuff from natural sources. So be in the moment, enjoy uni, enjoy what it has to offer, and make memories. That's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, like and subscribe. As always, God bless, and let's win together.